Hello everyone, welcome to the Character Dive, a show where I dive into the mind of characters from anime, video games, and other sources. Y'all know what Sonic the Hedgehog is. We don't need to give this an introduction. He's the Blue Blur, brought to you by Sega. This series is ram-packed with tons of cool characters. Characters we love, characters we may have forgotten, and even characters that have gone unused. Now, it's not common for the Sonic the Hedgehog series to have solid villains. Usually it's just a one-off character or somebody who's simply misunderstood. But there's one Sonic villain who still lingers around in my mind to this day. I present to you Mephiles the Dark. Mephiles the Dark. His name says it all. He creeps and he dwells within the shadows, manipulating his victims into doing his wicked deeds with one goal in mind: to unleash the flames of disaster upon the world. With no real past to go off of, there isn't a reasoning behind what he wants. He's simply just a personification of evil. Although simple, there are layers to his character. So let's dissect this fine specimen and see what truly makes him tick. As I had mentioned, Mephiles is the personification of evil, and enjoys deceiving his victims. What better way to deceive people than with your appearance? You'll see where I'm going with this in a moment. We've seen Mephiles in 3 different forms: Black Liquid, a copy of Shadow, and his crystal form. We can assume that the crystal form is his true form, but I'd argue that it's not. He can change from darkness into a physical form, which would mean the darkness itself is his true form. In this case, he could pick whatever form he wants, and he chose to take on Shadow's appearance after being released from the talisman. I have to say, I do dig the crystal form. It has a nice color palette with the purple and the cyan color. The stone patterns on his skin give him a rough appearance, and the reptilian eyes are also a nice touch. I've often wondered, why Shadow and not any of the other characters? Well, I think I know why. Mephiles is aware of who Shadow is, as we see him make an attempt to persuade Shadow into assisting him, as he tells him about the fate of the destroyed world they are in. Considering the context of the scene, you could see this as the villain trying to gain partnership. On the other hand, we can also see this as Shadow seeing a dark copy of himself, persuading him to go back to his old ways. Now wrap your head around this for a moment. Mephiles is blatantly gaslighting Shadow to have hatred towards humans once again, thinking it will work. We even see Shadow thinking about it as he speaks. Mephiles is quite crafty at using his words to twist the truth, mixing in elements of Shadow's past with what could have happened, and not necessarily what has happened. Unfortunately for Mephiles, Shadow wasn't having any of his crap.
Whatever it is you want to do, you can do it alone.
Omega even put him in his place a few times. Let's talk about his moments with Silver. He knows that Silver wants to be a hero and bring peace back to his world. So he informs Silver of an Iblis triggerer, that being Sonic. Now check this out. Notice how Mephiles doesn't call this Iblis triggerer by their name? Keep this in mind. Mephiles sends Silver and Blaze to the past where they can find the Iblis triggerer. Both Silver and Blaze are separated. Why would Mephiles separate them? Because Blaze knows who Sonic is, and Blaze can't inform Silver if they're separated. This would leave Silver with no choice but to aimlessly look around with only a brief description. Mephiles is aware of Silver's naive nature. Why would he give Silver all the details when he can slow things down, give him time to come up with more crafty schemes? To top it off, if Mephiles told Silver the name of the Iblis Triggerer, that would immediately take the fun out of it. To him, it would be more interesting if Silver were to kill Sonic and find out that he was actually the world's hero, painting him as the villain. So what is Mephiles' plan in this scenario? His plan was to make Silver responsible for his own world's destruction, just to mess with him. But of course, this plan fails as Silver meets with Shadow, who informs him about Mephiles' plan. Eventually, Mephiles pulls the plug and says, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself." Taking a deeper look into his name, there is a similarity to the name Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles was a demon featured in German folklore who made his first appearance in the Faust legend, a story about Faust making a deal with the devil, and Mephistopheles working as the devil's agent. The name Mephistopheles can be roughly translated to not loving light, hinting towards his affection for darkness. It's possible that the character Mephiles was inspired by this character. Now that I think about it, Mephiles does embody some of the same characteristics as the devil. Putting false ideas into Shadow's head, his trickery in getting Silver to kill an innocent person, being one with darkness. It's a wild stretch, but a lot of Mephiles' characteristics line up with the biblical depiction of Lucifer. Well, ain't that something? Mephiles is one wild creature. It's understandable that he only has one canon appearance, but I think they could have done a lot more with this character. I'm not exactly sure how he would fit in the current era of Sonic the Hedgehog, but who knows, maybe he'll come back. And that's a wrap. Thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know which character you want me to do next.